We're back with another brand new box talk right here on Long Box Punk. Also writes, or in this instant, talks, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody because I do that really well. Oh, it's taped. Okay, I got 3 packages to open. I know what 2 of them are. I have got some. What have I got? Okay, I've got some updates. I've got some teases now that it is March. Got a March teaser. I've got a chonker. Yes, I'm a basic white guy. I drink IPAs. Sue me. Don't sue me. You're not gonna get any money out of me. But I, enjoy the wall. All right. Where do we start? You want to start episode recaps? I feel like we usually start episode recaps. Let's do that. It has been a busy week for me, catching up, getting back into the swing. I feel like I finally have gotten back into the swing of things, and based on a message I got earlier, things might get thrown into the blender again. We'll see what happens. But in catching up, I was able to connect with Maddie Lee and Americo Alvarenga, and we talked about their upcoming campaign for Dirt Bags, which is a full graphic novel running on comics.one, spelled out. That's the actual website. There's no .com. There's none of that. It's comics with an X.one is how you find it. It is called Dirt Bags. The artwork is insane. Maddie does painting, and so it's all hand-drawn, hand-painted. It looks insane. The story sounds freaking cool. And they tasked me with something that I still have to do. I haven't forgotten. I'm going to do my life in a color smear. It'll make sense if you watch it, so I guess you got to go watch it. It's available now on my YouTube, or you can listen to it on your favorite podcasting platform, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, like 7 podcast, Podbean, Pocket Cast. I don't know, a whole bunch of different places that you can go. Basically, if you search Long Box Punk wherever you listen to podcasts, you'll probably find it, and then you can listen to it that way. Super fun stuff. I really enjoyed talking with them, and they both gave me some Australian, because that's where they are, Australian snacks that I was able to find at my local international market. And I have now had Twisties, the cheese flavored, pretty good. And just tonight, tried some Tim Tams, and I'm hooked. They were really good. And so now the wife and I are going to go back, and naturally we're going to buy every other flavor because, oh my gosh. So that's all that to say. Madison Lee, Maddie Lee, Mads Lee, and Americo Alvarenga had a great time talking with them. We shared plenty of laughs, which is really the whole point of the show. So, and we talked comics and music and emo pants and all the things. I know you told me, but you know how I am. I gotta do it myself. What else did they tell me? I couldn't find Allen's gummy snakes. I couldn't find those. They had Allen's, but they were like giant snow caps, basically. I was like, man, I'm already getting tracked with the Tim Tams. I don't need to, but I do like snow caps, so I might end up getting them anyway. They're just like $9 for a bag. For like a little 7-ounce bag of snacks, and that's totally fine. The other stream that I had, because I had 2 this weekend, I spoke with the Australians on Saturday Eastern time, which was already Sunday their time, which is always just fun for me. But also on Sunday, I spoke with Jimmy Gasparo and Amber Aiken, and we talked about their upcoming book called Penny and the Yeti. It is a children's graphic novel about a girl named Penny who is dealing with her parents fighting all the time, and her older sister, Perry, is there but not there, like for her, and she's angry at the world, and Penny's just scared about all the things, and she has her sister's drawing of a Yeti come to life, and then she has a friend Yeti to bond with and share emotions with, and it is a super freaking cute book. It's also really heavy. Like as an adult reading it, I was like, wow, Jimmy. And I told him that, and we talked all about it and the emotional gut punch that it carries. We also shared a ton of laughs and had a great time talking comics, talking Yeti. We got to the bottom of why Yeti everything for him. Not to mention, he's got great salt and pepper hair like I do. So that was but had a great time talking with Jimmy and with Amber, and looking at the artwork on Penny and the Yeti and how adorable it is. And then also asking Amber what she listens to when she's creating Penny the Yeti, and her answer being sludge metal. The best. You got to tune in and hear all about it. Had a great time though talking with Jimmy and Amber. I love talking with creative duos on the show, and I had two of them back to back, and both were fantastic. I don't think I updated my notebook. Nope. Look at this. My next page is blank. So, uh, you're just gonna have to tune in this weekend to find out with me who I've got coming on the show. It's nothing personal. I always feel terrible when I say that. It's nothing personal that I don't know who's coming on. I just it's in my calendar, so I don't have to know until like the day before. And then I create the studio and I email them and I start posting about it and all the things. And yeah, and I don't have any way to check who's coming. So just tune in or stay tuned right here. Go ahead and subscribe or follow me here on Substack, and then you'll get notified when I start posting about it. How's that? Also, I realized that I last week on Box Talk talked about posting a new article. I'm at my wit's end. I cannot find the picture that I want to include. And I know you're like, just post like it's about the writing on it. But it's not. It needs this picture. And I can't find it. And it's really bothering me. So the hunt continues for the picture. As soon as I find said picture, I will post a new article. Really just kind of bearing my all to you. So that's the whole point though of like doing these articles is, at least for me. I know not everybody does that. Most people would be like, why would I talk about my emotions on my Substack? On my newsletter. Sorry, I should refer to it as my newsletter, not my Substack, because Substack's the platform. Semantics. But for me, zines are meant to be personal. And when I started this newsletter, I wanted this to very much have the feel of a zine. And so I handwrite everything. I work in a warehouse shipping packages all over the world. I shipped like 600 pounds worth of merch to, where was that? Sweden today. So, so $2,200 shipping bill. Not my money. I just had to pack it all up. Label everything and triple label everything. It's fine. But I do that for my day job, and we do use a thermal printer. And sometimes you get like errant labels that come out because for one reason or another. Well, instead of throwing those away, I save those. And then that's what I Sharpie all of my articles on. And yes, I said Sharpie. I don't edit anything that I write. That's kind of true with like even comic scripts. Sorry, Kay. Yeah, that's sorry. I guess I do edit comic scripts, just not super heavily, because I usually get it out and then I'm like, nah, I like how that goes. And then that's how it goes. But when you write with Sharpie, like that brings with it some weighty intentionality behind it. And I used to do these things back when MySpace was the thing. Wow, grandpa, I know. But you know how they had notes or whatever on there that you could write, basically like blog posts? Well, I always wanted to have a blog, so I did it on MySpace, and I used to call it, what was it? Brain dump, brain lines, it was brain something. And basically, I would just sit down at the computer lab at my university because I didn't have a cell phone, because I couldn't afford it. We had cell phones, but I didn't have one personally because it was too costly. So I would sit down, and it was before smartphones anyway, so I would have been able to type it on my smartphone anyway. Like, I could now, I just choose not to because analog beats digital as I speak into a camera. But I would do these things where I would just sit down and start typing, and whatever came out is whatever came out. I didn't edit, I didn't go back and reread, I didn't do anything. I just typed everything out until I was done saying everything that I had in my brain, and it was like a stream of consciousness. And then when it was done, I would just hit post, and I never looked at it again. That's kind of how I treat these articles. Is I take the blank thermal label and my Sharpie, and I just start writing. I usually have an idea of like what I'm going to write about, right? I go into it with some intentionality, but I don't just, I don't like bullet point or outline. Like, first I'm going to talk about this, and then I'm going to discuss that. I just start going, and I eventually get there. I, not to toot, but like toot, I have the innate ability of just like making transitions and tying things together in narrative ways. And so that's what I do with my articles. So all that to say, you can subscribe to my newsletter here on Substack, and then you'll get notified when I finally do post my next article, which as soon as I find that stupid picture, it'll go live. So there's that. The other thing, I'm looking at 3 packages that I could unbox, but first, if I turn this, does it automatically go landscape? No. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Because I want to use this as the video for our campaign for AHA. So sorry that you all have to look at it sideways for just like a minute. But here's the thing. Take a clip of this. Save this as a clip. Robot. We at CHK are doing an anthology called AHA, which stands for A Horror Anthology. We're incredibly witty like that. But we wanted to create a anthology comic that specifically focused on new creators, bringing new voices into the scene, because we ourselves are new voices. We're a new publisher. We've got a title to our name for now. And we wanted to be very intentional in creating a space that other new up and coming comic book creators could have a space to tell stories, show their art, and have people see it. Because that's the whole point of art, is to make it so that people can see it and experience it and feel it. And that's what we've done with AHA. It is in pre-launch right now on Kickstarter. We launched March 25th. We have early bird tiers in the first 48 hours where you can get a discount on both physical and digital copies of AHA. We've got 8 stories. We've got 16 creators, 3 covers. All 3 are drastically different, and all 3 are incredible. You can get all 3 covers. There's a tier for that. If you're a comic shop and you want to cover and support local new indie creators, there's a retailer tier this time. You can get physical and digital, just physical, just digital. Plus, there's a super secret special reward tier that we are not talking about until the campaign launches. Other than to say that I have never seen this specific tier offered on any other Kickstarter campaign ever. And I have backed, you can look at my Kickstarter, I've backed like 370 projects, I think. It's somewhere north of 350 and somewhere south of 400. So, I've seen some campaigns, and I have never seen what we're doing with our reward tier, called the Cujo tier. I've never seen another tier like it. So, you're gonna want to be early to the campaign. March 25th is when we launch. Don't wait, because you're only going to cost yourself more money to get the same product. So, and there are limited tiers that we have where only 4 are available. If you want to be in one of our comics, there are very limited things that like the retailer tier, only 10 shops can jump in on that tier. And we have sticker sheets that we're going to have, and then all the books, all the covers, all the things, all the time. So it's going to be an exciting time for AHA. March 25th. You can pre-save the link. I have shared that link everywhere on social media, which is Substack, Threads, Blue Sky, and even Instagram. And so if you find me any of those places, or at CHK Comics, or at Punk Rock Chris with a K, or at Longbox Punk, we are blasting everything. And stay tuned for more podcast coverage of AHA coming to your favorite YouTube channel. All right. That's for me for later. Yes, I'm aware I was sideways. Sometimes you got to do life differently. It takes a different perspective to sometimes achieve what you need to do. Sometimes you got to change your approach. And so that's what we're doing. We're multitasking here on Box Talk. That's how we roll. Enjoy the wall as I enjoy Chunky. Ain't it swell? So I got 3 packages. I don't remember which one came first because I've cut them all up and opened them all. So I haven't looked in any of them. I just cut this tape so that I can easily do this. And I go, ooh. Let's see. This one is from... I don't know. It was in a bag, which is smart. It's smart to put the Gemini in a bag because then if it's raining, the Gemini doesn't get so... Oh, sickness. Speaking of horror anthologies, Memoirs of the Morbid from Comicsburg. Horror. I love that. I'm such a sucker for any good classic EC, like throwback anthology horror. And this right here, okay, take notes. We need that. We need to have a giant no AI stamp somewhere in the book. I guess I could do it in the inside cover trade of we could do it that way. Staunchly against AI. But yeah, so Memoirs of the Morbid, because I'm always taking notes on horror anthologies, even before I knew I was doing one. So excited to read this one from Comicsburg, semi-annual for mature readers, 4 self-contained stories. So, oh yeah, play away. Especially if you already got ideas like that. That just happened like 4 seconds ago. I already have ideas. Overachiever. That's my creative collaborator. This one comes from Stephen Prince, post-punk. I'm talking about Monster Matador. Matador. There it is. I knew I could roll it. You just got to give me a second. I'm undoing even more tape because I want to show you all of the cool stuff. This is another thing. I don't know any other creator that every single campaign he includes a remarked like signature card, book plate, whatever you want to call it, sketch. Come on. Okay, fine. It's not coming out. So there it is. There is the remarking. I gotta figure out a way to display all these, man. I gotta figure that out. But here is just a hella dope cover. I saw the purple trade dress and the heavily predominant purple cover. There you go. No glare that way. It's just at an angle. But like super righteous. Blood of the Matador, issue 2. And then also with this campaign, we got a free sticker. Nice holographic. Ooh, ah. And also, like, how freaking sick is that design? Like, the M becomes the cape. Get out of here. It's so clean. And then the piece de la resistance. I know I'm speaking French don't think about it too hard. But come on. Come on. How freaking rad is this? There's so much in this. I forget the artist's name that did this pinup. This was also available as a variant cover. But Monster Matador continues to be one of my favorite indie comics that's on the market today. It's just so gosh darn good. It's got matadors, it's got luchadors, it's got kaiju and giant monsters. It's got action and adventure. It's got sweet crossovers with other rad indie creators. Always get the sketch from Steven. I don't know how he does it. He also has a brand new comic on Kickstarter available. I almost didn't mention it because I knew I don't remember the name of it. It is a little spicy if you're in the market for more NSFW comics, because it seems like that's all there is on Kickstarter, which isn't true because Aha's coming soon, and then Barricade Brigade launches this summer. But Steven does have a new comic on Kickstarter right now. If you look up Monster Matador and then go to his profile and then go to the projects created, I know I'm asking you to click 3 different times. And usually people tap out after 1 click. If it's more than 1 click away, statistics say people just don't do it. Like the number of people that'll do 1 click and then the people that'll do 2 clicks, and then it continues to degrade from there. I'm the person that continues clicking because I will find how to support people. I am determined. But yeah, so Steven Prince has a new comic on Kickstarter right now, and we'll be getting the Blood of the Matador issue 3, I believe he said in the fall. So, no better time. He always does catch up tiers. He always does the everything Steven Prince has done tiers, which he just makes great comics. And if you're on the fence, then go check out my chat with him. We had a great time. I think he's been on twice. Has he been on twice? We talked the Luchador. He's been on twice. We talked about Monster Matador back when he was doing is that Afropocalypse? And then he came back on when he did the one shot specifically about the Luchadors because I was a big fan of the Luchadors in Monster Matador. So super stoked to have that and to continue reading the Blood of the Matador series. And then this beefy big boy came from another post-punk. Are you noticing a theme here? We're trending a very specific way. Holy crap, this is huge. This comes from Ian Mondrick. We've had Ian on 3 times now. He did a horror panel, and then he came on talking about Mongoose, which was an art book celebrating his father's artwork. That was the first time that he was on a horror panel, and then he did a campaign launch with Frederick, whom I opened a book from last week or the week before. And then, dude, that's smart. I probably should have shown that off because that was a very cleverly packaged. He tucked the sick pin that you can barely see because the bag, and now it's stuck on tape. So he tucked this pin with tape into this part of the book. So the pin was protected. Smart. This guy knows his stuff. He knows a thing or two about packaging, but look at this freaking book. Holy crap. Doom. The complete collection. This is heavily distracted. I think I first read Tomb when it came, like issue 1 came as like a digital freebie in another campaign. And I remember reading it and going, oh, that's eerie. And then I don't know why I didn't put it together until Ian was talking about Tomb, like about collecting it all into this massive nose wide. I mean, that's both nostrils. That's how we measure books, by how many nostrils it takes. Oh man, I'm a sucker for a good hardbound, just big freaking book. Stoked. And yeah, it's hyped to get this. And I had to get the pin because, on my new denim jacket that has the Longbox Punk skull embroidered on the back and the logo on the front, and it's white denim because I'm that guy. I love it. I want to put a bunch of pins and patches from campaign, like all the stuff that I'm getting from all these campaigns. And I'm like, cool, another pin. Where's it gonna go? Because I'm out of room. I'm gonna start putting them on the white jacket, and then I just got to figure out when I'm gonna wear the white jacket because I don't want to cut the sleeves off. I'm gonna utilize the sleeves and this. Oh, come on, Ian! I gotta open this thing too. Where's my knife? There's something in here that was taped to the front of the book. Let's find out what it was together. That didn't work. I would be the worst unboxing video person on YouTube. There's a reason I do this on my newsletter and not as like a regular thing on YouTube. Golly, what the hell is this poly bag made of? There we go. There we go. There it is. Okay. Thanks for hanging with me. I know it was rough. Okay, what is in here? There's multiple things in here. We've got, I'm sure that's everything. Okay. Just so nonchalant. We've got a giant bookmark that I can use that'll fit well in the book. And then a passage on the back. Oh, chapter 6 of the book of Revelation? Get out of here. I wonder if that's actually chapter 6 of Revelation. I mean, that's what it says. I'll have to read it, find out. I'm a reader. Sweet. Here's a whatever these are called. Book. What are these called? We've got Benjamin Philby, and we've got Ian's signature on there. The placard, I don't know what to call that, but that's there. And then, yeah, always, yeah, see, it's on a stash box, the book he did with Fred. It's on a stash box postcard with a handwritten thank you note telling me to keep up the incredible interviews. Ian, just for you, I think I will. Book plate, that's what it is. Yep, thank you. I'm gonna be honest, I think this might be the first book plate that I've gotten from a campaign. I think they just included this as a stretch goal. So it feels like a sticker. Do I peel it off and then slap it on the inside cover? And that's how they can do them, because they just have these separate and they just sign away and then just put one into each package and then leave it to you to stick it on. Man, I'm going to be so nervous. I'm putting it on crooked. Thanks a lot, Ian. Nah, it's great. I love it. I love it. It's great. So that's Tomb, the complete collection, and the Blood of the Matador, issue 2, and Memoirs of the Morbid for October 2025. So there we go. Those are all the things. Did I have any more updates? I don't know. Stay tuned to tune in this weekend when I have another awesome indie creator. See, I can say that because I know it's going to be true. I keep having just awesome creators on the show, and I'm lucky to attract the caliber of creator that I do. So there's that. I am, just as a heads up and general statement, my schedule is already booked. The last booking I saw was coming in for May. So I'm already booking into May. So that's what, 2.5 months ahead. So just a word to any creators out there. If you know you have a campaign coming up, reach out to the podcasts and the shows and the media coverage that you want for your campaign, for your book, for your pre-launch, for your whatever, as early as you know about it, because you're more likely to get scheduled when you actually want to have that coverage happening, instead of it being like a last second thing of, hey, I'm launching a book this weekend in like 3 days. Can I come on the show? Sorry, man. No, you can't. I don't have any openings. And I keep having to tell people that. So there's a very small list of people who I would make the exception for of um oh, you want to come on the show? Yeah. When do you want to come on? Let's make it happen. And I got one of those yesterday. Yesterday. So more to come. That's all I'm going to say because nothing is finalized. Nothing really is even further than an inquiry and response. So there might be something really exciting coming that I just can't all day today because it was last night that I saw the message. All day today, I was like, how is this real life? This person has more than one book on the wall. More than one book on the wall. So just that's all I can say. That's all I'm gonna say, because again, nothing is set. I don't want to set my hopes on this person coming on the show and then something happened and they can't or whatever. It was a drunken message to me and they didn't mean to send it. I have no idea what their life is, and I don't want to make assumptions. But I would love if this worked out. I would be super stoked. So couple reminders of things that I have coming up that are outside of the show. I will be at Space, which is the Small Press Alternative Comics Expo, the last weekend in March. It is just outside of Columbus. So if you are in the Central Ohio region, I would love to see you. I would love to sell you my books. I have an appointment this Saturday morning at the library to make some pins. So I'm going to be making some pins at the library for like 40 cents a piece and then selling them for like $2. Huge markup. I'm making all the dough because I intentionally want to keep costs as low as possible. And that means doing everything as DIY as I can. And that means looking into free resources for creators like the library. So if you're a creator and you haven't looked at what your library offers, you should, because holy crap, the list of things that are available through my local library are insane. Like obviously they've got, printing, large scale, regular size, button making. They've got 3D printers that you can utilize. I was like, that's significant dedication to use the 3D printer at the library. I feel like that would take a whole lot of time. But then you can do like they've got the Cricuts that you can use, so you can make. They've got heat transfer machine or like a heat press, so you can, if you've already got the thing or you make it there at the library at the Cricut, you can turn around and press it onto your shirt and make your own shirts at the library. And like, sure, there's a cost; it's not free, but like I said, to make a button, it's like 20 cents per button plus 10 cents for printing the images. So however many, I don't know what the template is, but however many images I can print on one page is how many times I'll divide 10 by. So it'll be like 1.3 cents for the print and then 20 cents for the button. So I'm looking at less than 30 cents a button for my cost, that then I'll be able to mark up to $2 to have something just very cheap on the table that I can sell. That's also fun to wear. And I'll also be I have a hat that has the AHA logo that I designed, colored by Chris Mendoza, and I will be wearing my hat because the campaign will be live. And so that's the final weekend in March. Come hang out. I'll actually be tabling, hopefully, right next to my artist in AHA, Alex M. Clark, and who I met him at Space last year. And so you never know who you're going to meet at a con. And if you want to hear more about that, you should listen to the conversation that I had with Americo and Maddie, because that's how they met, was at a convention. So there's that. I think it was them. It might have been Jimmy that met. No, maybe. I don't know. Watch both of them. Cover all the cover all the bases and watch both of my most recent streams to find out who met who at a convention, and then we talked about it, because I always think it's fascinating how creative teams meet. And then so that's March. and I know I've mentioned it, but I'll continue mentioning it. Five Star Comic Con is happening in June 20th and 21st in Dayton, Ohio. So both basically central Ohio. We still have tables available. They are very limited at this point for Artist Alley and vendor spaces, but we do have both still available. So if you want to make the trip to Dayton, Ohio and be a vendor, be an artist in Artist Alley, send me a message and I will send you the vendor application link, and then you can figure out all the things that you want to figure out that way. And then you can come hang out with me. A couple of post punks are going to be there. And by the time we get there, we will have AHA in hand. And there will be a handful of creators that are in AHA that will also be at the convention. So you'll be able to pick it up at a couple different booths and get it signed if you're into that, and all the things. So there's no reason not to check out Five Star Comic Con in Dayton, Ohio, June 20th and 21st. It is all weekend. On the 21st, on Sunday, we're having a local indie wrestling promotion put on a match, at least one, if not two matches on Sunday. And I just found out Monday, 2 days ago, that I will be the ring announcer for that event, which is kind of a dream come true. So, if nothing else, just come and nerd out at how my voice is going to crack because I'm going to be so excited. And I'm probably going to say some stupid thing like, hey, power bomb me through a table because I think that'd be fun. And it'll be stupid, but um, it's going to be awesome. So, come hang out at Five Star. Hopkins, I don't even know where Hopkinsville. I'm assuming KT is Kentucky. It's KY, like the jelly, not the jelly we don't eat. K in August. But if you're there in August and if it's close enough to where I'm at, might have to make a trip and come hang out at Goblin Con. I've never even heard of that. How are there so many cons that I've never heard of? If you're in a convention anywhere in the Midwest, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, even Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee's kind of pushing it. Virginia's kind of pushing it to Pennsylvania, specifically Western Pennsylvania, then let me know. Like, let me know where you're going to be because I want to meet more post punks and more indie creators that I've interacted with on social media or been on their show. I want to meet more of you in person. And so I'm excited to get to meet a couple more at Five Star Dayton. I'm also going to be meeting more folks that I, met at Space last year and then have talked with several times since, and like back some of their books on Kickstarter and supported their work that way. And now we'll be able to meet them again and be like, hey, I read your book because I supported it. And then they'll actually know who I am instead of like, who is this guy that has the hair and the rad battle jacket and just has this vibe that screams positivity, because that's me. I try to do that. So those are all the things that I have officially. I think I've sold you enough. Pre-save AHA on Kickstarter. Get notified when we launch March 25th. I'm going to pump it, not because I'm selfish. Um, Obviously I wanted to succeed because I have a story in it, but like we have some really awesome stories in it. And my story is not the only one. The story that Kay worked on with V is not the only one. There are other stories. We have 8 total stories. So even if you don't want to read my story or his story, which you'd be dumb if you didn't, shame on you. But even if you didn't, there are 6 other stories that are going to be in the book, plus the 3 insanely cool covers that I can't wait to share and show off on the campaign page. We're going to have samples of all of the stories that you know what you're getting into before you back the book so that you can see what the vibe is for each story, because they're all different and they're all different genres, but they all fall under the spooky, broken, haunted umbrella of horror. Perfect timing. Lights to flicker. Yeah. I'm going to need details. Deanna, I'm going to need those deets on the Hopkinsville. I mean, I guess I could just look up Goblin Con in Hopkinsville. I'll do that though too and see. I've never heard of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, so I have no idea where that is. It's probably like the southeastern corner of Kentucky out there by EKU, and that's like a 4-hour drive for me, and that's going to be difficult to do. But I'll still look it up, and I'll still cheer you on from afar if I have to, if I can't make it. So, and it's in August, and I don't. Oh, dude, that sounds so sick. I mean, I would assume with Goblin Con that it would be Cryptids and Paranormal, but like Cryptids and Paranormal Con, hell yes, that's my kind of con. So I'm definitely going to be looking that up. Thank you for sharing and telling me about that. And you're driving 4 hours from the east. I would be driving 4 hours from the west and meeting in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. I would love it if it was like just south of Florence. It's like an hour for me. And I used to work in Florence, and I used to drive that 5 days a week, which was insane. What was I doing? So those are all the things that I have officially for you. I'm going to go hopefully make sure my dog isn't freaking out under the table shaking because we have a thunderstorm happening right now. That's Ohio, I guess. So thanks for tuning in and sounding off. As always, I appreciate it. If you like this type of video, because I refuse to use content referring to anything that I make. I don't make content. I make connections. I have conversations, and I share my love of comic books. And that's kind of the whole point, because they're the best. So if you're having a shitty day, comic books will pick you up out of that trudge and sludge and get you back in a good mood. At least they do for me, and I hope they do for you too. So go do what's good for you, punks, and make some indie comics, because that creating is what's good for you. I'll talk to you later.